Okay, let's start filling in your sheet. Did everyone get one? Jane Austen, A Truth Universally Known. Everybody have one? You need one? Let me pass that back.
Yes. Wait, who needs it?
Oh, you don't need one? Okay. Thought you were saying yes. Okay. So we're going back in time a little bit because Jane Austen precedes the Brontes. So you're writing down that she lived from 1775 to 1817.
Can we take bullet notes?
Wait, where do we write?
Yes. This is under Overview, Life and Times. 1775 to 1817. She died at the age of 41. What's astounding to me is she has 6 major works of literary significance, and she died a year older than I am. Makes me feel slightly underaccomplished, you know. She was the 7th of 8 children. And it was during her time that marks the movement, you know, into the sort of romantic era of England. I want to direct you to 2 major points of interest, places of significance. We will visit one of the 2. The first one is Chawton in Hampshire. Chawton, Chawton, Hampshire, Hampshire. Looks like Hampshire. Hampshire, Hampshire. So Hampshire is along the southern coast of England, sort of below south and west of London, and it's supposed to be just beautiful. It's sort of where they go on vacation. They call it on holiday. Okay, so it's just a beautiful place, and the home that was shown to you in the video there, that was Chawton, and that's where she spent a good portion of her life and working on her novels. I love that story that you heard of Jane sitting in this little room at this tiny desk writing, and then making sure that the door squeak would alert her to hide it, just because she didn't need to be distracted. Now later on, Virginia Woolf is a famous writer. She's just got a quote at the very bottom of this page. Virginia Woolf lived around early 19th century and was doing, early 20th century, and was doing lectures, and she had much to say about Jane Austen. She called her the most perfect artist among women. That's a huge endorsement from a very popular, more modern author for us. So, according to Virginia Woolf, everyone must have space of their own, privacy of their own, money of their own in order to be a successful artist or writer, because if you didn't have money just to kind of sit around in the quiet of your own space, then how could you really produce these fantastic works? Which is partly why she considers Jane Austen such a genius, because those are very limited circumstances to always be hiding your work in a house full of all these people and, you know, still to be able to produce what she did. It's very remarkable. The other location I'd like for you to know is Bath. Bath. We call it Bath. In England they say Bath. I sort of move indiscriminately between the two because I'm sort of half British in my heart, right? So Bath, England is incredibly posh. I mean, super sophisticated. If you've ever been to Savannah, you get this sense of this aura of the people there are better than everyone else. They don't let outsiders really in. They all come from money, you know. Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you been there? Okay, that's kind of the feel of it. Bath is that to the 20th degree. So it's very, you know, snooty, arrogant, but you're not likely to have much interaction with the locals. But you can tell by the place of it, it's expensive to live in Bath, England. It is set on this place that was a place where the Romans used to go to bathe in these mineral waters and receive rejuvenation and healing through these waters. Still, the locals do that in a modern day spa, and some still drink of the mineral waters every day. It tastes like sulfur, it's disgusting, but they do that for their vitamins. It's just this old sandstone city that when the sun hits it just right, it sparkles like it's made out of gold. When you see just the tops of it, it looks very much like it would have 300 or more years ago. It's only down at the street level that you get all the high-end shops and exquisite shopping centers and such. There we will visit the Jane Austen Center where, like, oh, they disappeared, hold on. Like some of our seniors, as you see, are dressed in period costuming, Regency costuming. And so you get to try on gowns and dress the way Jane Austen dressed. You get to go upstairs and take scones and hot tea, and it's the best scone you will ever eat in your entire life. I mean, just to see these big old guys sitting around these little quaint tables with a picture of Colin Firth on the wall and sipping their tea with their pinkies up, it's just lovely. And it's enchanting for everybody, guys and girls. There's a little movie you get to watch about Jane Austen. There is a wax figure that they have taken DNA and old pictures of Jane Austen and done their best to replicate her in a wax fashion that's as close to the real Jane as you could get, only she doesn't breathe or write. There's a gift shop there. It's just, you'll have a little lecture to remind you about the things we're talking about today, and they'll go into more detail. It's an enchanting experience to walk these streets where Jane Austen lived. Now, regarding Bath, she only lived there about 5 years, and she was the daughter of a preacher. So she's not really the upper class, but she did rub shoulders with them frequently. So they go to these pump rooms, and they're just massive rooms with incredibly high ceilings, very ornate, where people just sort of walked around and nibbled on snacks and danced and, you know, gossiped, and that was her lifestyle. So what she does in her books is she makes fun of all of it. She's like, this is ridiculous. Like, everything is about who you're dating and who you're going to marry. Everything is about, you know, how much money you have and how posh your clothes are and all of that. And so you get a sense of that still residing in Bath today. And our tour guide, Matt Billett, whom I love and adore, he actually lives there in Bath. And I got to go to his flat last time I was there. He has about 24-foot ceilings on this main level across the street from the Bath Museum of Art, on the same street where Jane Austen used to live. It kills me. Like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. So I want you to experience Pride and Prejudice so you get the sense of Jane Austen's Bath, and when you walk there, it still will remind you of how it was then.
So does that mean that like tour guides in England make a lot of money?
No,
Or does he just like live?
he has a
like
wealthy
nothing?
friend,
Oh, he does.
we'll say.
Talk about